Have you ever worked for an organization where there was just so much pressure to perform, where everyone was overworked, where morale was low, and conflict and distrust it just ran rampant? Hello, I'm Marcus Dudley, leadership coach and organizational consultants, and I help leaders become better leaders. All right, today I want to dive into a common but very unfortunate workplace scenario that I like to call the pressure cascade. Now, before I jump into what the pressure cascade is, I want to encourage everyone to stick around to the end of the video where I'll share 3 strategies that you can use as leaders to help prevent this cycle from even starting. All right, so what exactly is the pressure cascade? Well, it usually starts right after an organization hasn't met expectations or hasn't met expectations for several months. And what you see typically is that upper management begins to apply unrelenting pressure to perform on the VPs or directors, and that trickles down to the managers, and then the managers begin to apply that same pressure, even more pressure, onto the individuals on their team. And over time, what happens is resentment starts to brew. Motivation begins to dwindle, trust diminishes, team dynamics become poisoned, productivity and efficiency plummet. And in short, the intended purpose of the pressure that was intended to make things better actually has the opposite effect. So typically what happens next is you have another round of bad performance, and the entire cycle starts again, leading to more pressure, more bad behavior, and more toxicity. Now, it's about this point in time that you typically see people begin to leave the organization, which adds even more workload stress onto the remaining members of the teams. Meanwhile, the managers who should be focused on helping their existing team members overcome these problems are pulled away, right? Because now they have to interview, they have to hire, and they have to help train these new employees instead of investing that time and energy and those resources on helping their team overcome the challenges that they're facing. Now, as a result, what happens? The same cycle repeats itself again. More pressure, more bad behavior, more stress, more dissatisfaction, more attrition, more failing to meet performance expectations. And it's just a terrible cycle. And it can be one that is certainly hard to break once you get in it. Now, the good news is, as leaders, is that you have much more control over that cycle than you may think. Meaning that if you are an individual who thinks that pressure or constant pressure equals performance, then I'm sorry to report, but you should probably get accustomed to the environment that I've been previously describing. However, if you are an individual that wants to put a stop to the cycle, or even better, wants to prevent the cycle from starting, here are 3 strategies that you can use to help prevent that from happening. Strategy number 1 is to communicate openly. As a leader, it is so important to be honest and to be transparent and to avoid making excuses or placing blame. And in my experience, this transparency is crucial for building and maintaining trust and fostering an environment of open communication and collaboration. Strategy 2 is to simply own the performance problems, even if they're not directly yours. The fact is that you're employed by the organization and their problems are your problems. And at this stage, in my experience, it's really important to try to create or maintain it's us against the problem, or it's we're all in this together type of attitude. And then spend the remaining time, right, focused on encouraging teamwork and mutual support and maintaining generally just a positive and forward-looking perspective. The last strategy that I would recommend is to just focus on solutions and provide continual guidance and support to the members of your team. I see so many leaders get caught up in complaining and bitching. Don't spend your time doing that. Spend your time looking for opportunities to maximize the resources that you have, to become more efficient, and to seek out ways to further invest in the capacity of the members of your team. In my experience, when leaders and organizations invest in their people, even when times are tough, employees feel like the organization is providing them the resources and tools that they need to help solve the problems. And typically, in response, those employees will spend more time focused on solving the problems instead of complaining. Lastly, as leaders, it's absolutely important to realize that we have the ability to prevent, to protect, and to insulate our teams from experiencing the cycle of destruction. And if you follow these strategies, the strategies I shared, I guarantee that you will continue to have a positive impact on your team and your organization. All right, if you found this video beneficial, please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel below for more great leadership related tips and related content.